Some cars are just transportation, but some, they carry an entire era with them. The Chevrolet Caprice wasn't just a car, it was America on wheels. Big, bold, and unapologetically comfortable. A couch on wheels with the heart of a muscle car. A cop car, a mobster car, a family hauler, and even a lowrider legend. For 3 decades, this beast ruled the American roads. Today, we're diving into its story. Why it was born, how it dominated, and why they just don't make cars like this anymore. If the Caprice were a person, he'd be that old-school gentleman, impeccably dressed, but a little rough around the edges. It had the class of a tuxedo and the punch of a heavyweight boxer, smooth on the boulevard, but always ready to flex its muscle when needed. So, what made the Caprice legendary? Size. At over 223 inches, 5.7 meters long, the 76 Caprice was basically an aircraft carrier with a license plate. Comfort. Soft, overstuffed seats. Thick carpets. A steering wheel so light you could turn it with a single finger. Power. The 1971 Caprice came with the legendary turbojet 454 V8, pushing 360 horsepower and enough torque to pull a house off its foundation. Luxury for the working man. You didn't need Cadillac money to get power windows, climate control AC, Comfortron just like in a Caddy, and even a tilt and telescoping steering wheel, all high-end features in the 1960s. It was the American dream in car form, and America loved it. The Caprice wasn't just a car, it was a rolling time capsule of American excess. Here are some wild facts you might not know. Throughout the 70s and 80s, the Caprice was a common sight in mob movies and in real life. Its massive trunk, perfect for extra cargo. The smooth ride, great for a quick getaway. The Caprice starred in countless movies and TV shows, from gritty cop dramas like The French Connection to Tarantino flicks. It was the go-to car for both heroes and villains. The 1994-96 Caprice 9C1 police package had the same LT1 V8 as the Corvette, just slightly detuned. Some departments discovered that with a few tweaks, it could outrun Mustangs and Camaros of the time. In New York City, Caprice taxis routinely clocked over 1 million miles before retirement. Built like tanks, they outlived almost every other fleet vehicle. In 1977, Chevy built a Caprice Aero Coupe for NASCAR homologation. Only 6,000 were ever made. With a sloped rear window for better aerodynamics, it looked more like a muscle car than a luxury cruiser. While the 80s Caprice became the lowrider king, even GM played along. In 1990, they quietly built a Caprice SS concept with factory hydraulics. It never made production, but the idea was there. The Caprice wasn't just a car, it was a cultural icon, living different lives on different streets. Chevy already had the Impala, but in '65 they wanted something bigger, fancier, and more Cadillac-like. The Caprice was born as a premium version of the Impala, and America ate it up. By 1971, the Caprice had grown into a full-blown road yacht, 121.5-inch wheelbase, power everything, and a highway-devouring presence. It was so American that by 1973, even police departments started buying them in droves because nothing outran a Caprice in a straight line. Fun fact, in 1969, you could order a liquid tire chain system. A button inside the car would spray traction fluid onto the rear tires for better grip on ice. How's that for innovation? By the 80s, the Caprice had 2 very different fan bases, police departments and lowrider crews. Cops loved it because it was fast, reliable, and nearly indestructible. Lowriders loved it because its body-on-frame construction was perfect for hydraulic suspension setups. And here's the kicker. When Chevy discontinued the Caprice in 1996, Police departments were so attached to it that they spent thousands refurbishing their old Caprices rather than switching to the Ford Crown Victoria. The 1991 redesign was controversial. The once boxy Caprice became a curvy, whale-like machine that quickly earned the nickname Shamu because of its shape. But under the hood, a detuned Corvette LT1 V8. These last-gen Caprices could still haul serious ass, go 60 in under 7 seconds. Not bad for a 4,200-pound full-size sedan. And then, in 1996, GM pulled the plug, the final nail in the coffin. They replaced it with the front-wheel drive Lumina LTZ, a soulless, plastic-filled sedan that nobody wanted. We live in a time of turbocharged 4 cylinders, automatic start-stop systems, and cars that feel more like rolling smartphones than machines with a soul. The Caprice was different. It was loud, proud, and built for the open road. It was the last of the true American boulevard cruisers, before regulations, efficiency standards, and rising fuel costs turned cars into nothing more than transportation appliances. If it were a movie, it'd be a 1970s action flick. If it were music, it'd be bluesy rock and roll. If it were a drink, it'd be a strong bourbon, smooth, powerful, and unforgettable. They don't make them like this anymore. But we remember, if you love classic cars and real American V8 muscle, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us, what's your favorite era of the Chevrolet Caprice?